In the noisy heart of the city, where car horns battled endlessly with street vendors, and the scent of roasted corn drifted through crowded streets, there lived a man named Adam. People knew Adam, but not in the way he would have liked. They called him the man who never leaves his change. Adam owned a small, yet very successful electronics shop, located at the busy corner of Market Road. His business flourished. Customers walked in daily, buying radios, chargers, headphones, and sometimes even televisions. Adam always smiled when he received money, but never when he had to give it out. If a customer paid 4,950 naira for an item worth 4,900, Adam would carefully, slowly, and precisely count out the 50 naira change. Not a naira more, not a naira less. If a beggar stretched out a tired hand near his shop, Adam would simply look away, as though he had suddenly forgotten how to see. Even when his workers stayed late, helping him close the shop after long days, Adam never offered them transport money, not even a bottle of water. People whispered about him. They would say, "That man holds his money tighter than his own shadow." But Adam did not care. To him, money meant security. Money meant control. And control meant he would never return to the poverty he suffered as a child. One afternoon, as dark clouds gathered heavily in the sky, and rain threatened to fall, a woman walked into Adam's shop. She was elegant, yet simple, dressed in a sky-blue gown, carrying herself with calm confidence. Her name was Glorious. She came to buy a small radio for her grandmother. Adam attended to her like every other customer, professional, quick, and emotionally distant. The radio cost 7,800 naira. Glorious handed him 8,000 naira. Adam immediately began counting her 200 naira change, carefully, as usual. But before he could hand it over, Glorious smiled gently and said, "You can keep it and give it to someone who needs it." Adam froze. No one had ever said something like that inside his shop before. His face tightened slightly, and he pushed the money back toward her. "I don't run charity here," he said bluntly. Glorious chuckled softly, collected her change, and quietly left the shop. But something about her calmness stayed in Adam's mind. Days passed. Yet Adam could not forget her words. Then one evening, she returned. And then again, the following week. Each time, buying something small. Batteries, earphones, phone accessories. Slowly, conversations began to grow between them. Glorious told Adam about her work at a community center where she helped widows and street children. She spoke about life with warmth, and spoke about kindness, as if it was a currency far more valuable than money. Adam often argued with her. "Kindness does not pay bills," he would say. Glorious would simply smile and reply, "Maybe, but it pays hearts." As time passed, Adam found himself waiting for her visits. For the first time in many years, he laughed freely. He began walking her to the bus stop after closing his shop. Friendship slowly blossomed into love. Something Adam never expected, never planned for, and honestly, never believed he needed. One rainy evening, Glorious invited Adam to visit her community center. Reluctantly, he agreed. When they arrived, Adam saw children laughing while sharing one old, worn-out football. He saw widows cooking together, combining the little food each of them could afford. He saw happiness in a place where money was almost absent. Then suddenly, a little boy walked up to Adam. He looked up and asked, "Uncle, are you Glorious' friend?" Adam nodded, awkwardly. The boy smiled brightly and said, "That means you are our friend too." Those words hit Adam deeply. Later that night, Adam asked Glorious quietly, "Why do you give so much when you don't even have enough?" Glorious looked at him and gently replied, "Because someone once gave me hope when I had nothing. I promised myself I would never hold back kindness, the way the world once held back from me. For the first time in his life, Adam felt ashamed. But within that shame was inspiration. Change did not happen overnight. But it came. The next morning at his shop, a young student came in, hoping to buy a phone charger. But he realized he was 300 naira short. Adam paused for a long moment, then quietly waved him off and handed him the charger anyway. The young student nearly cried with gratitude. And Adam felt something unfamiliar inside his chest. Warmth. A feeling he had never known before. Day by day, Adam began to change. He started giving bonuses to his workers. He began offering free repairs for elderly customers. And soon, he placed a small donation box at the front of his shop, labeled, "Help someone today." People were shocked. The man, who never left his change, was now giving money freely. Months later, Adam stood beside Glorious at the opening of a brand new learning center, built and funded by him for underprivileged children. As children's laughter filled the air, Adam held Glorious' hand and whispered softly, "You didn't just change my life, you gave me one." Glorious smiled warmly and replied, "No, Adam, you only discovered the part of your heart that was waiting to be opened." And from that day forward, Adam was no longer remembered as the stingy man who never left his change. He became known as the man who learned that true wealth is measured by the lives you touch. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with someone who needs this message. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.
In the middle of a crowded city street, where the horns and voices never sleep, lived a man counting every naira tithe, holding coins like they were his life. He smiled when the money touched his hands, but giving back was never in his plans. Even kindness knocked upon his door, but he turned away and asked for more. They whispered every time he passed, his heart is locked behind his cash. He built his world in fear and pain, the man who never left his change. He thought love was something money couldn't buy, never knew it was standing nearby. Then Glorious walked into his life like sunshine bread. In the middle of a crowded city street, where the horns and voices never sleep, lived a man counting every naira tithe, holding coins like they were his life. He smiled when the money touched his hands, but giving back was never in his plan.